Hi there everybody, it's UK independent demonstrator Halsey here from slimandstylish.com. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm using the lovely Magnolia bloom set, and I'm going to be using this flower here with the bud. And I used happy birthday on this card. I think I'm going to use a thank you on the one I'm making for you today. So let me show you how to put this together. This is all built up. It's over 3 different layers, and it is stamping, blending, positioning, and that's pretty much how this card works. But let me show you and let's get started. So to start off with, I'm going to be doing my magnolias. So I've got a piece of scrap whisper white here. As you can see, I've been using it to do other projects and cut holes out. This was from my one sheet wonder the other day. I've already got these already on their blocks, and I'm going to be using the Memento ink pad to stamp them out. So I'm just going to stamp that one there, and I've actually tried to save us a little bit of time by doing a bit of blue Peter, and I've already got some stamped and cut out as well. So I'm just going to pop those 2 down. The blends I'm using for this, even though I have got quite a lot of shading and build up on the flowers, I'm not using that many blends. I'm using the light and dark purple posy. There. I have the light and dark mossy meadow for the leaves. I do have the light smoky slate, and that goes on the outside just to give it a little bit of pop. I have the bronze, and that is just for the centre, and then I also have my colour lifter. That's quite important on this one. So to get started, I'm going to be starting off with the purple posy, and I'm going to start off with the dark, and I'm going to go wherever there is a gap, and instead of just doing it once, I'm going to do it 2 or 3 times in one go. With this card, it is all about building up the layers. Okay, so I'm going to do that bit. Where the shadow bits are, I'm going to go over that. And again, I'm going to just do it a couple of times. There. And there. Up there. Over here. Now the key with this card and the colouring is letting them all dry out and doing it again. So I'm just going to get that. But it is just a couple of times over with your pen. You can't put enough dark on because you want as many different contrasts with the blends as possible. This is why they all work so nice, because the colour lifter will lighten it, and then you can keep going as dark as you want, and you can use just one set and get as many shades out of it as possible. So I'm just going to give that some time to rest, and I'm going to come over and do this. I'm not as fussy on the bud. The bud's more a detail bit to me. But now that this is sort of dried in, I'm just going to go over it all again. Keep building the colour up. I want the dark bits to be really bright. I do love this Magnolia set. I like the other one with the big flower on, but the big flower kind of rests over the top. It's too big for a layered card, I find. You have to chop a bit off, whereas this is just all perfect. I love this one. I'm just going around in a circle, and I'm going to keep going over the top of it. Okay. When you're happy with the colour that you've got, okay, I'm then going to come over it again with the dark, but I'm changing to the brush tip, and I'm going to make sure that I miss what I did before, if you see what I mean. So I did the really dark, and I'm now just doing a line inside it as well, just to create an extra bit of shadow. do think I could sit and play with the blends all day. I do enjoy them. Okay, now I'm going to use the light Highland Heather over here, and I'm just going to colour that over the top. Highland Heather, it's Purple Posy. I keep trying to say Highland Heather. I think it's because Highland Heather's my favourite purple and the one I use most often. It's very unlike me to be using a different purple. I'm just going over the whole of the petals now. Over the dark, over the light bit. I'm not doing it any sort of pattern, I'm just trying to get colour onto the page. Okay, and then once you've done that and you've got the colour on, you want to go from the dark into the light, but not all the way. Okay, so even though I've done that petal, I'm not going to be doing all of it on there. I'm going to leave that up there light. Okay, so I'm not playing with this bit at the back. I'm just doing that one, and hopefully I'm just going to create some really nice shades between it. I'll pull it up to the light again in a minute for you, so you can see where I've got and where I've missed. Okay, and then I'm going to use the colour lifter, and I'm going to go over the bits that are white even more, just to make sure that they're really quite bright out. I want to try and get as many shades as possible on this. Okay, and then I'm just going to use the Mossy Meadow. There's no right or wrong way with this. I'm just doing a couple of the grains of the leaves with the Mossy Meadow. Dark. Don't forget the bud. And then coming over it with the Mossy Meadow light. That is like the quickest part of this card, isn't it? So what's great about the blends, you can either spend hours doing them, or you can spend seconds, and you still get good results either way. It just depends which result you want. Okay, so once you finish both of them, and don't forget the bronze bit in the middle, almost forgot that. Once you finish both of them, you want to use your smoky slate. This is a light smoky slate, and I'm just very quickly popping a shadow around these, so that when I fussy cut them, the outside of my cutting will be grey and not white. It's just going to help make it pop when it goes onto the card. It means it's a standout piece. Okay. Some fussy cutting now. Do that so it's a bit more manageable to cut. Watch your hands. I was doing this the other day just to cut bits off, and I cut straight through my finger. I keep cutting my finger, you know. I did a one sheet wonder the other day, and all I did was try and flatten my card. You know, when you've scored it and you're burnishing it and then you flatten it down, and that caught all the way back across those fingers as well. It always seems to be that hand, not the other hand. And then, yeah, I've caught it with my snips a few times. Hazards of being a crafter. I think it's because I try to be quick. I don't try to be quick when I'm personal crafting. But when I'm on a video, I think, oh, people don't want to sit and watch me chop and score and everything for ages. So I'll try and get through this bit quickly. And then I wound myself. Hazardous little job, this. But our snips are great. They've got a really nice pointy end, so they are actually quite quite sharp if they catch you. So there's my flower and my bud. Now there is a centrepiece of this bud that I'm not going to bother to cut because, not because I'm lazy, but really when I'm hiding it behind the flowers you don't notice that it's not cut anyway. And as I've just said, I have a habit for spearing myself on the scissors. I'm not really going to worry about it. I'll show you in a second. So it's just that bit there. Like I said, I'm not bothering about it because I will generally hide it anyway. So then, for this card, your base piece, which is here, is 8.5 centimetres by 8.5 centimetres by 12.8 centimetres. And I have my pieces, so what I'm going to do is plan roughly where I want those to be. One of these over that side, and one of them over that side, really. Once you've got an idea of how you're lining it up on the card, it will then help you know where you're going to stamp your background piece. So I've got my flower again, my Magnolia. I've hidden the memento with my scrap Whisper White, which was silly. I'm just going to ink that up. Okay. That's roughly where I want it, so I'm just going to move off the bits. Try not to move the backing card. Move the backing card and the stamp. Oh dear. I was just telling you not to do that. So work out again roughly where we want them. Okay. Now I think if you're watching me from America, you have a tool that makes this really handy. Don't you have some sort of wrap that you can pop on and lift it off really easily? And I don't think we have it in the UK. So if you have that, use that because that would be so much easier. There we go. And then for my bud, I can remember that this bud come down here, so I'm okay to add that one into there. To there or there. Go in there. Right, so I'm just going to colour those in the same as I did that piece. Where's my lid? You've seen me do this, so I'm just going to natter through it. How's everybody doing? We're on a type of lockdown here in the UK. We're actually not on a lockdown really at the moment. Of course, my videos are normally about a week or so after I've made them that they actually come out. So we might be by the time I speak to you again, but we can go out on essential exercise. We can go and do essential shopping and go to work if you can't work from home. So all our fantastic key workers are still off out each day. I'm working from home. Really lucky actually that I'm allowed to do that. And then I went out yesterday to do the shopping. I haven't been out for a week, so it was nice to get a bit of fresh air, but at the same time it's really odd out. You know you shouldn't really be out, and it's not that enjoyable. You just sort of count the minutes until you can kind of get back in the house, I find, or I do. I didn't really exercise before, so I don't need to go out for essential exercise. And myself and my brother have shared walking the dog, so I'll walk him at the weekend when I'm not working, and when I'm at work my brother does, but we're not out for very long. be honest, I'm quite glad that I'm I either have work or my crafting. So never need an excuse to find more time to craft, really. So but I hope everybody else is doing okay. I hope you're all well. I did have a crafter contacting me from New Zealand actually to tell me how they're going. So I hope everybody who joins me from all over the world is all right. Okay. I tried to get the same light and dark as I did when we did the other one, so they kind of look the same, because they will have their shadows falling on the same sort of aspects. Does anyone else natter to themselves when they craft? I think it's a good idea that I film my crafting, because then I don't feel like such a nutter when I'm talking to myself. But quite often I sit at home, and if I've not got my thing on, I still talk to myself like, do I think that would look good there? Do I? And I have a proper little conflab. It's very concerning, really. Don't forget the bronze in the middle. Leaves. It didn't seem to take as much time doing that bit. Maybe it's because I wasn't talking what I was doing. I was just doing, maybe. I do. I really like these flowers. I'm a floral girl anyway. Not in the garden. I'm not green fingered in the garden. I could kill a plant by looking at it. I am not good at that. But when I come to do my crafting, I always grab the flowers. Don't ask me why, I don't know. I just obviously like the flowers. Right, so you've seen me do this a million times. I've got the Whisper White with the silver trim. Just going to cut that off. I'm just going to grab a scrap piece of paper. I'm going to use my purple posy again. I'm going to use the dark purple posy, and I'm going to use the brush tip, and I'm just going to colour the whole piece of ribbon. If you watch my channel regularly, this has become my new favourite way of doing the ribbons. I think I've got ever so lazy. I don't order all the different colours now. I just order this one and colour it. Unless there's a glitter ribbon come out. When the glitter ribbons come out, the shimmer ones, I get those. Why not? They're glittery and shimmery. So I'm just going to pop that on the side. And I'm going to bring my scrap paper back in because I want to do the sentiment. I didn't bring enough blocks with me. Very silly. So I'm going to do thank you for this one rather than happy birthday. I love the font of this as well. It's not just the flowers, the font. It is so fancy. It's beautiful. Now you'll be able to find this one on my website, but if you're looking in any of the catalogues, you won't find this one because this was in a different catalogue. It's still current. It's still on the website. It's just not in the catalogues. Because I have had people message to say, I like it when you use that set. Where can I find it? You can find it on my website. Magnolia blooms. So that's stampinup.com. You go up to the top header and you click on buy. And you type into the search bar Magnolia blooms and it will be there. So I'm just put them in. Some gorgeous papers as well that match and coordinate with this. Really lovely. If you were on my paper share last year, you'd have got them. So they were special papers. There you go, and they're also on my website. Feed that in. Right, now so that this is easier to manipulate and move, I actually stick this onto here before I stick it onto the card. So you can check it's straight or looks straight by either using your grid paper or using the cut marks that you've just made. And I'm just going to pop a couple of dimensionals, half on the ribbon, half not, and that will help stick it down. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to use some snail adhesive, and I have got a piece of backing paper which is only 1/2 centimetre wider. So it's 13.2 by 9 centimetres by 13.2. I'm sure you knew that I was doing that the wrong way around. So it only creates a very, very slim frame. In fact, it should be slimmer than that. I must have cut that wrong. We'll see if I've got a steady hand now because my trimmer is downstairs. Because I've been working from home, my craft desk where I normally film has my work laptop on it. So in the week I've been crafting downstairs on the dining table. Then over weekend I've been moving my laptop and my monitor to the side so I can film again. So that's why half the stuff is all in different places. Actually, I'm going to stick this onto my backing sheet as well before I go any further. There's nothing worse, I think, than having it all planned to put on and trying to fit your adhesive on when it's all on layers, because you squish all your layers. Squishing the layers. So first up, it is my thank you. Goes on the centre towards the top. Stick that down. There we go. Now normally I would have run the smoky slate, around here, but I actually haven't because it is just round the pop-ups and not round the background to help give it that extra dimension. That's why I haven't, if you're sitting at home thinking, why hasn't she done that this time? So my dimensionals, this one here is just going to have one on. Can you tell I made a mistake on a previous card? Use the same card stock. I don't like waste. I'm just going to pop that on there. And it's fine that it goes over the bottom. I'm okay with that. I think it gives it even more dimension. And then with this one here, I'm going to be putting that over the top of this one. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pop 2 dimensionals on so it's even higher. Before you do this, because I have been told by some countries that you want to check the postal allowances in your country to see if it will allow you to add 2 dimensionals on. Ours are pretty good here. But if you're in a different country, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to post this before you actually finish it. So double check that you can pop it up. If not, you can keep it the same dimension. It's just I liked having it all popped out. So that's going to go on there, like that. My bird, I'm just going to pop that up. And I should just be able to slot it in there now. So there's my one. And this one over here, also just one dimensional on. Let's slot that there. There we go. And there's my cards. Actually looks like a proper posy coming out the page to you. What do you think? I hope you enjoyed it. I made myself a cup of tea at the start of this video to get everything ready and have my cup of tea. Do you reckon it's going to be freezing now? I never even paid attention to it. Everybody have a lovely day. I hope you stay safe wherever you are. If you want to purchase any of these items, it's the Magnolia Blooms stamp set. Like I said, there is matching paper if you go onto my store. Head over to stampinup.com, go up to the header, click buy, and you'll go to my store there. Don't forget to use the hostess code. You get some extra goodies from me, and hopefully I'll see you all soon. If you did enjoy, please subscribe. Thanks everybody. Bye.